By last Friday, skepticism was still in the air over the Electoral Act Amendment Bill, which the National Assembly had transmitted to the President for assent in January. By Tuesday, March the 1st, the 30 days window provided by the Constitution for the President to sign or decline assent would have elapsed. On Tuesday last week, over 24 civil society organizations converged on the Unity Fountain in Abuja to pressure President Muhammadu Buhari to sign the bill.
President Buhari must sign his bill to show leadership in West Africa and in Africa.
Before the protest by the civil society organizations, presidential spokesperson Femi Adesina had raised expectation that the president would sign the bill last Tuesday. Speaking on a television program, Femi Adesina had said the president would sign the bill in a matter of hours. The president did not. Instead, reports filtering in from the presidency indicated that the president might sign the bill last Wednesday. Again, he did not. By that Wednesday, however, the presidency became categorical that President Muhammadu Buhari will sign the bill on Friday. Before the categorical statement, Nigerians had begun to lose confidence that the president would indeed sign the bill.
After taking the bill 4 times in 2018, 4 times, up to the point is like the stakeholders and both the National Assembly that worked so hard on this bill, the president will turn it back for one reason, they work on it again and turn it back. He turned it back again after 30 days. Each is after 30 days he turns it back. For us to come and we're dragging on issues of amendment that took 7 years. You know, it's something that, because you write your own history.
The Electoral Act Amendment Bill has undergone a contentious and confidence-shredding process. From 2007, when late President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua constituted the Justice Uwais Electoral Reform Commission to begin a process of institutionalizing a credible electoral process, to the enactment of the 2010 Electoral Act under President Goodluck Jonathan, Nigerians have insisted that cleaning Nigeria's electoral process needed a strong legal framework. That framework is what the National Assembly wants to achieve in the current amended Electoral Act that have been sent to the President for assent.
In most of the electoral judgments you see, they are completely devoid of justice to the people. And there is a world of difference between judgment and justice. There can be a judgment devoid of justice.
The amended law suffered 2 setbacks. In its first form, acrimony arose over the provision of electronic voting and electronic transmission of results. Some political interest campaigned against such a provision on account of a dubious lack of communication network infrastructure to do so. When their campaign floundered, these forces sought to subordinate the independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) under the National Communications Commission (NCC) by canvassing for a clause that results of elections can only be transmitted electronically, subject to the approval of the NCC that it has the capacity to provide such a service for INEC. After this contention was resolved, because the capacity to transmit results was established to be available, another issue arose. President Muhammadu Buhari declined assent to the bill on account of a provision that political parties should conduct direct primaries in the choice of their candidates.
What is the Ministry of Communication doing to ensure that transmission coverage, is expanded? The Ministry of Communication is in charge of communication in the country. They should do their job.
The president's reason of high cost of election administration, undermining of the constitutions of the political parties which have provision for indirect primaries, and the security implication of direct primaries have all been taken care of in the amended version which the president is being urged to sign last week.
So the National Assembly came back from a holiday. Very quickly they went into this bill from what the president, from the reasons that the president gave, and then they sent it back to him. And then it comes again, we are waiting and the time is ticking.
However, there are many Nigerians who are not moved by the agitation that failure to sign the bill will be a great disservice to the electoral process.
The old Electoral Act, what was wrong with it? There was no provisions in it for anybody to snatch ballot paper. There was no provision in it for anybody to bribe voters. There was no provision in it for anybody to wake up and subvert the democratic wills of Nigerian people.
Their argument is that the attitude of the politician more than the legal framework determines the level of credibility which any electoral process can command. Nigerian politicians, they say, do less of politicking and convincing of the electorate and more of seeking out loopholes in the laws and even undermining the law in order to win an election.
We are having a system where even the judiciary is the one declaring who is a winner. It shows the flawed nature of the elections.
If the court have held politicians accountable by upholding the sacrosanct nature of INEC manual vis-a-vis some of the documents that have been produced before the court, we wouldn't be where we are.
So, as President Muhammadu Buhari is being urged to sign the bill into law, the Independent National Electoral Commission must also be determined to sanction every infraction to enable Nigeria's electoral process profit from the law.
Nigerians don't believe in the system anymore. They believe that people rig elections, and so that's what matters to the politicians.
I see INEC as independent in name, not in reality. INEC must not defend electoral malfeasances using public funds.
The judiciary must also go beyond the letters of the law to be more activist, to cause a moral burden on litigating politicians who seek to turn the judiciary into the rule of politics instead of a simple arbiter. This way, the new law will yield the political process dividend many Nigerians yearn for.